Welcome to Sweden again.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be anywhere.
And you're here to play with the Nomads, a band that's been carrying on your legacy for 20 years now. When was the first time you met the Nomads?
About 3 years ago, I was touring Europe and did some dates with the Nomads and the Helicopters. We did 4 or 5 shows in Scandinavia.
And for those unfortunate people that don't know, what was the MC5?
MC5 was a high-energy, militant political rock band from Detroit in the late 60s and early 70s that really kind of burned bright and burned fast and burned out.
And unfortunately, I could tell everyone that we'll never see an MC5 reunion.
No.
Because not all people are as healthy as you are. Rob and
two
Fred
have died,
which of course means we'll never see anything of that again.
Well, that's not exactly true, because there's an MC5 documentary film.
That is true.
That is nearing completion. I just spent a few days with the filmmakers in Chicago and watched about 4 hours of never-before-seen MC5 performance footage. That's really, it's very exciting, and I think they're doing a credible job, and I think finally the mainstream will get to learn the story of the MC5 and the story of Wayne Kramer. You know, rock fans that really study music, you know, that follow what band influenced what band, they know the story of the MC5, but the general public at large, you know, the average 17-year-old skateboard, baseball cap backwards, he doesn't know the story of the MC5. So when the film comes out, it'll go a long way towards telling the story.
Another big storyteller over the past year has been a book called Please Kill Me. Just about the time that garage rock really boomed in Sweden again with the Helicopters and other bands, an American book called Please Kill Me, based on the Punk magazine. Punk Magazine, som faktiskt myntade ordet punk, för er som inte visste det. That came out, and a lot of people suddenly got a chance to see and hear from the people who were there what actually went down, stories that probably a lot of you guys didn't even remember anymore.
Yeah, it's a book about all your favorite rock musicians at their worst behavior.
Now, Iggy is playing here tonight. We're a Detroit-based band as well.
Yeah.
Have you and Iggy kept in touch since then, or?
No, you know, I ran into him a couple of times. Our touring schedules would cross, you know, but I haven't talked to him in recent years, no.
But there's no hard feelings from back then or anything?
You know, there's none from me, you know.
We're going to see if we can try to hook you guys up sometime tonight, and we'll see what happens.
I look forward to seeing my old friend.
So, what's going on with Wayne Kramer now? You're still an active musician. What's going on?
Well, I just released a new album in the States called Beyond Cyberpunk, and it's a compilation of artists that were around back in the day, maybe 20 years ago, and new bands that I think are all carrying on the tradition of what punk means as far as I'm concerned. You know, I want to open up the boundary, you know, so it's not all just about a narrow, you know, fast beats and loud guitars, but punk really is an attitude that means that it's time for a change, you know, and that we can always do better, you know, that we can push farther and beyond. So I've done that, and I made a record last year with Brian James from The Damned, and we had Stuart Copeland come and play drums with us, and Clem Burke. And I've been working in Los Angeles. I work as a producer too, so there's a great band in Los Angeles called Mother Superior that I'm just starting a new record on. So I try to keep busy. Mostly I try to pay the rent.
So what's the punk scene like in the States now? It's been growing very well here in Sweden, but in a lot of things we see from the States are like trend punk bands like,
Yeah.
like Blink-182 and stuff like that, or wannabe punk bands.
Well, it's all moved into the mainstream, and there's kind of a homogenized version of what we loosely call punk that's very successful in the mainstream music business. But I don't think that's the punk that I'm talking about,
No, of course
because that's now that's been reduced to a style of music, and I'm not talking about so much a style or a fad as a way of life, a way of looking at things, that you can always, break through the status quo, that whatever it is now, that we could come up with some new ideas that might be take us someplace new. Sun Ra said, "We came from nowhere here. Why can't we go somewhere there?"
That's excellent. Now, we're talking about the new versus the old. Do you still encounter when you go out and you play new Wayne Kramer stuff, that some people just want to hear old MC5 material and end up being just nostalgics, or are people open to new music from you as well?
Yeah. I don't get, I think people want to hear something good. And so if I do, new songs that are compelling, if they're dynamic, if I'm carrying a message that means something to say, if it has a feeling they can connect to, then that's what they want to hear, And, I'm not ashamed of having been in the MC5, and I play MC5 songs. Those are my songs too, In fact, we'll play an MC5 song tonight with the Nomads to help celebrate their 20 years of being in rock and roll.
So, otherwise, as far as music goes, what bands from that time would you recommend young people to check out, aside from, say, the Stooges and the MC5? What stuff would you say is really important for what punk rock is today? And we've got the Ramones, of course, but we're talking history lessons.
Yeah, I think Per Ubu is an important band. There's a fellow from the West Coast named Stan Ridgway, had a band called Wall of Voodoo that I think are important. Ron Ashton did a new song for Beyond Cyberpunk on his own that's very strong, that I like a lot.
That's really cool, because Jay Maskis was playing with the Fog here yesterday, and Ron has been doing some shows with him in the States. And actually here at Hultsfred, Jello Biafra came up for the encore and did No Fun with Jay, which is such a blend of music and people meeting.
Yeah, as it should be.
Yeah,
as
of course.
It should be.
That's part of the program.
The idea is to break down the barriers, to make it all inclusive, not exclusive,
So we're looking forward to hearing new material from you, hoping you'll come back and do some shows of your own in Sweden.
I will do. Yeah, I'm about halfway through a new record now. I've got it written and about half produced, So yeah, probably maybe in the fall. I'll try to, if not, then in the spring.
That sounds great. I'll see you then.
Great.
Talk to you later.
Yes,
I'll see you at the show.
See you out there.
Vi ska ta en paus. Ha det riktigt bra i några minuter, så syns vi sen igen.